What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. Look who's back!
I am back and I'm in the room.
Bloody months of doing nothing and he rocks up when it's all done.
Excuse me, we've had a lockdown. I've wanted to come down for ages, but you've told me that I'm not allowed on the basis that we've got to behave and we've got to be good.
Got to be grown ups.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steve-O's back. So, as you know, the bike is all basically there. I need his okay on a truckload of stuff. And there is a little bit of, we need to get it off the bench, we need to check a few bits and pieces, we've got to drop the front suspension, all sorts of other stuff. So that's what we're doing today, because the bike is basically ready to pull apart.
Apart from all the bits that you've done wrong.
I haven't done anything. Well, I don't know if I've done them wrong yet. That's one thing we've got to check. So anyway, that's what we're up to now. We've also got Jamie coming down, you'll see him in a bit. He's a good lad, but he's basically the engine dude. So, well, you need to have a look about the bike and see what we've done. Hang on. Right, I'm trying to think where we got to when you was last down. Right, obvious one, exhaust. I really like it, I do. Actually, these bits here, the little spring hooks, they need to go. But I think the rest of it's there. And it's baffled there and it's baffled there.
I gotta be honest, mate. I know I said to you in the photos I thought that it was the angle, but now seeing it in the flesh.
Do you still want a slash cut at the end of it?
No. I'm just fucking stoked, pardon my French. I'm really happy with that.
He does it. I'm going to be doing this.
Got to remember that we're on camera.
Oh,
yes, language, Timothy.
Right, so we're not going to slash cut it, we'll leave it like that. Oh, we always can do later on, because the other there was a suggestion to follow that, or follow that, and if you had to have a slash cut on it.
No, I just think.
But to be fair, we can just cut the end off of it whenever we want.
Yeah. I just love the fact that basically, to anybody who's never ever seen it, it basically just looks like a bit of tube.
It's cool, isn't it? Right.
But the bends seem to have all worked out and everything else.
Yeah,
I know it was a little bit more complicated than that. We've had those conversations, but mate, it just looks right.
Right, foot pegs. They're the other thing that you haven't seen. Well, did you?
No, I saw. We had one side done, but we didn't have it all fully mounted up, and obviously you hadn't milled out the lever at that point.
Right.
But they look spanking as well.
So a few other suggestions came in about putting a slot down the middle of that and holes in this. Personal opinion, for what it's worth. You know, like people put Suzuki and everything else down the tank and then, you know, whatever the name of the bike. I think you should just have that engraved with GIXIT or something, and like fill it in with black.
Black and like paint it in with black enamel or something.
Yeah, and then just like brushed alley and just the whatever you're going to put on it, just in black, rather than sticking holes in it.
I can see why people say put holes in it and put a slot in it, but. It's not a race bike, it's not a sports bike, it's, well, it is what it is. I like the mix of sort of old and modern. I don't think we necessarily, I mean, I like the old fashioned knurling, and I think that simple triangle works.
Alright, well, we've still got a hill guard to stick on there, because you don't want to be scratching that up.
Yeah.
I do quite like that you can see it, but we are going to need one on this side for the chain.
Yes.
I need to, that'll just go on the back here. Bolt through and it will come up and, you know, however it goes. So that's all fine.
But again, I mean, I
sort of shaft out for this as well to hook up to the gear shift. So
that's fine.
That could be done.
But we won't know. I say we can't do much about that because we need to know where my my foot position is to know what the length of the shaft needs to be, don't we?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be road pattern, not race pattern as well. Which we said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that's that. Side stand needs to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We'll keep it once you get the big mill up and kicking. I'm going to get this Thursday without your help.
Oh, honestly, folks, you would have thought that we never ever speak, but we do frequently. I even butt dialed you yesterday and you ignored me.
Heavy lifting. And mind you, he does have dodgy knees now. He's got properly dodgy knees. So that's probably just as well we move these pegs down a bit. But get the milling machine, that's just a big old bit of steel which I can get, and that'll probably be one of the first things that I do on the new mill once that's up and kicking.
Okay.
So that'd be a good test, wouldn't it? Stop it going through steel instead of alley.
Yeah.
That'd be alright. That's easy done, that could be done as the last thing even.
Could we not?
What?
Could we not just basically add a bit on? Or add a bit in the middle, weld it?
I'm not just sticking a bit. Well, it's tapered, isn't it?
Okay.
I'm not just sticking bits on. We just make a whole new one.
Alright. New toys. Yeah, I know, I get it.
That's the other reason I want to make a new one. Because it's a new toy.
I did say to you, in terms of going to pick up this mill load, that I would like to have gone with you. And could you have waited an additional week?
No.
And so basically, your impatience has led to you going on your own.
Well, there is a fella, Dave Moore, who, Dave, if you're watching, thank you ever so much for the offer. He's on the way. He lives in Gloss or something.
Right. Gloucester or Gloucester?
Gloss.
Gloss.
GLOS. I had to Google it. There is somewhere called Gloss.
Okay.
And that's where he lives.
Is there somewhere called Saturday Map as well?
He's shifted like milling machines and lathes, and he's got rollers and all sorts of stuff. He's got a big old engine crane and all that stuff.
Yeah, so, like you said, this thing is probably going to be the best part of 1,000 kilos.
Yeah, well, we're going to go up in the van. I've already got some scaffold tubes, so if we need to move it Egyptian style, we can do. Got a trailer sorted and all that lot, and on Thursday I'm off up to Manchester. That's going to be a long day.
Well, I did say to you that me and the kids would come down on the bridge at the M5 as you're heading south, and we'll wave at you. Congratulations on the new mill.
Right, what else was there? All cooler mounts. Just all cooler mounts.
Yeah, but again, it's nice, it's tidy.
I do like the filler cap. That I do like, and I'm using one of those.
I like the filler cap, but after seeing it, I am a little bit disappointed in the
it's a gasket.
Quality. No, not just that, the thread and shit as well. I like the way it looks, and 2.5 inch is the right size.
No, we'll make it work.
I don't know whether look, the fucking pin in it even fucking push through.
We'll push the pin in there. All that stuff we could sort, that's fine. I'm going to be using something like that on Aspo.
I might buy another one so you can have that.
Well, you need to make your mind up, because this is all coming apart in a bit and getting welded and everything. What else? I can't remember what else you haven't seen.
Well, the headlight was basically done, although you hadn't put that little mount to hold everything in place, which looks really neat.
Well, we need to decide where that's going to go, because that needs to get tacked.
Yeah.
So, but we'll do all that. We do need to drop the front and make sure the front tyre clears the oil cooler, because that is a really deep oil cooler.
Yeah.
And we thought we should be okay, given the amount of trouble that we've got, but we do need to check it.
Yeah, don't want to go under hard braking and...
I might end up having to redo that.
Do what?
Oil cooler.
We didn't like the oil cooler, did we?
We need to make sure it works. In this case, we are going function over form.
Function over form?
Right.
Form over function?
What else is there? I can't remember.
That's
about it, really, isn't it? Really. Well, shall we?
We've got a few. There's a few other bits that we can finish off after, isn't there? So like the top mount.
Yeah, all that.
Mounting the speedo.
Everything could be painted and bolted back together, and that's the last thing we machine and stick on.
Yeah.
Same with the gear shift linkage.
We've got to have the brakes apart as well. They're beginning to look a bit tired and all of it.
Well, all that lot needs to be serviced anyway. Right, okay, so we need to check foot peg positions and stuff, don't we?
We do
This
indeed.
needs to come off the lift. Right.
Honestly?
Oh, you're going to have foam on the seat, so that's going to lift your butt up a bit. Not a lot, because we're not putting much foam on there.
No.
But
You sit on it.
can you hold my cap? Sorry, my speed though. See, this ain't right, isn't it? The suspension's not moving much. We need to get the shocks off this and get it into side. I do like it. I think it's dead new. Oh, Miss Simplified Magic, guess who's turned up? That's JB. We've got Christmas brains. Right, let's get this back in there.
No,
Hey?
it's only just been born. It needs to be out in the
Well,
sunshine.
it needs to get back in front. We need to drop the front suspension. Right, let's get it back inside.
Do you want your speedo?
I'll have my speedo back, yeah.
Oh, so that's been off the lift, isn't it?
Nice.
Are they any good for that engine though?
Right.
Fit the engine.
Um,
I mean, it's not going to do much. There's not going to be a massive amount of performance by fitting just a set of bigger carbs.
I wasn't looking for any extra performance in terms of bigger cars.
I know he uses all busy gassing and whatnot, but can you hold the bike? I'm about to let this down.
Alright. Fuck me.
Then you're also on the camera, so what's your language?
Oh yeah.
Right, all we've done is we took the tops off the forks. The idea is I want to let this down, compress all the suspension, and see if it hits the oil cooler.
Does that mean oil's going to be out the top or
Hey?
not?
No, it'll be alright. But these should start coming up. Come on. Down, down, all the way. Right, okay. Right, front wheel's down, so
Yeah,
it should
they're
start.
starting to come off. Yeah.
So this is when you're giving it massive brakes going into a hairpin somewhere. Or trying to avoid the bus that just stopped.
No!
It's touching, isn't it?
It's touching.
Mother pass bucket.
Mate, and if I was using that much brakes, I'd be touching as well, mate. I'd be touching cloth, I think.
Well, you'd be surprised. You've still got, what? 40 mil of travel?
You see, what I blame is, I blame whoever designed the oil cooler.
Well, you just gave me the oil cooler. I just made a box for it. So, options. Well, we could either change the oil cooler.
In the great words of Steve-O, arse.
Moving it up, is that an option? Probably not.
Not really. I mean, how far up can we go, mate? Not a lot.
You don't want to go up off the top of the engine, do you? Would it matter? Jamie, you're in. Sorry, everybody, Jamie's here. Steve-O's been picking his brains about carbs and all sorts of stuff. Jamie is the fellow that I mentioned a while back. He's a proper nerd when it comes to his engines. I couldn't think how else to say it.
He is very knowledgeable.
So, oil cooler currently hits the wheel. Needs to go up. Is that a good thing? Because that puts us above camites and stuff.
And that's where the galleries are, where they've got the two bolts at.
Yeah, but there's like the height of where the oil cooler is. That's like an important thing. That one is a really deep oil cooler. The stock one in. And the stock one went there, but you've got stupid forks on it.
You're not going to get it much higher, are you? What did you have left there? 40 mil?
Yeah, about that.
Did you measure that?
No, I just got it off the tire. Right, there. Where's the rule?
Measure that and we'll see
Where's the
how
rule?
high you need to go.
Rules up there.
It's a square. On that?
Oh, there should be a... Where's it gone? Oh, here we are.
Yeah.
35 mil. But see, then that puts...
There's the original mounting bolts.
But see, then we're just moving it up. In my head, pushing the oil cooler up too high is a bad thing.
You can't get it much higher than it originally was anyway.
No.
Are those the original? Those are the original mounting bolts.
Yeah, but the original oil cooler has little tabs on the top of it, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Whereas this one doesn't.
But it's also about just over a centimetre.
Yeah. So the top of that oil cooler currently sits where the stock one is, because there's little tabs that come up and they go into those bolts there.
Yeah.
So that is where it would be as stock. Now if I move it up 35 mil,
We can't go up 35 mil, mate.
Haven't
I
got
don't
35
think you
mil
can.
there.
You're not.
even if you went up by 20 mil, I mean, you know, you've still got. Where is the real bottom of these? Because it's not necessarily where the castings hit the dust seals.
Hang on.
Where in? Oh, hang on, he's had an epiphany look.
It is Easter.
Yeah,
Alright.
we like to call them brain farts.
Yeah. Most of the time it is a profile. Jamie, so on these oil-cooled engines,
Yeah, swash oil cooled.
yeah, the actual capacity of the oil cooler itself,
I want to know where.
how important is that?
Right.
So
On something like this?
Yeah.
Where's my spanner gone?
I wouldn't want to go much smaller, to be honest.
Right.
Just translates the fact that the smaller the oil cooler is, the less cooling you're going to have.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, the engine is cooled as well. It's not just the radiator that cools it.
No. But the original cooler, or the cooler that I had on it previously, was basically the same depth,
No, actually, I'm going to take the front.
but it was, but maybe like, so it's the same depth that way, but it was only half the height.
Right.
Whereas the standard one on Simon's is probably only about, the core's only about that.
Right.
But obviously it's just deeper. So I suppose it's whether we go standard or not.
I don't think we need to make this as complicated as it needs to be. What we're going to do is we're going to have the front wheel out. I want to completely compress those forks and see where the bottom is, because that's going to be limited by the cartridge that's inside it. There's going to be a bump stop on the end of it, right?
Yeah.
Because
Just a thought.
the bottom of the travel of the fork isn't where the dust seal hits the casting. So So we're talking about 25 mil that we've got to find, right? So if we find out where the bottom of the fork is, the proper bottom of travel before the forks mechanically stop, right? That will tell us how much it is that we're actually looking at, because at the minute we're just guessing.
Just thought, could you go lower?
That's what I'm thinking.
Because if you go lower, you'll clear it lovely.
What do you mean go lower?
Move
The
that
radiator
down.
You then move it out the line of travel, don't you?
But you can't because of where the headers come out.
No, it just means we put a hole in the middle of it instead of at the bottom of it.
So
I know what he's on about. He's thinking the same thing
moving
I am.
this down, you clear the line of travel with that wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Simon's just
it'll be in the way of the headers.
mountain it. Well,
Sorry.
we need to know.
Eh?
No, there's plenty of.
It'll be in the way of the headers, surely.
We've probably got 25-30 mil between the top of the header and this.
This is what I want to know, how much travel
And also-
there is actually on the fork.
You've got where these oil lines are coming out. Will probably sit down between the headers, won't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So
And
you
then
could
the lines
probably
go in
move
these
this whole
paper
thing
clips.
down 30 mil.
Yeah.
That probably solved the issue.
That's what I'm hoping. But we need to find out the real travel on the fork, because we've never done it. We've never had the tops off and see how far it actually goes. We need to know how much there is. I don't care if we end up with just like 5 mil clearance and then mechanically, I don't care if we end up with a few mil. But it has to be a mechanical stop. You're never going to get all the way down there, because you know you're still going to have, even on full bore, full brakes, landing a heavy wheelie with all your weight on whatever, you're still not going to get down there, but
No.
theoretically you could. So you need to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, let's front wheel out. Is that not done up?
Those two.
Welcome to Give Gas voicemail. The person you're calling can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your message.
The northern monkeys.
Why did I get a northern fella doing the answer phone message?
Hello mate, it's Steve. Hope you're well. Give us a call if you can. I'm with the orange-headed buffoon who's trying to talk about suspension, and yeah, we're stuck as usual. Cheers mate, bye.
Right, what year are those forks? And what?
Either 2006 or 2007.
Right, so get Google.
I've been Googled.
I've seen it before. I know I've seen it before somewhere. Suspension travel on front suspension travel. Go. DSXR 7. Is that what came off?
That's what I had last time.
Right, front suspension travel.
Front wheel travel. It says 130mm again. The only reason I wanted to burn it is because I wanted to check what the diameter of the forks are, and then that would tell us what the year is.
Look. Yeah, 50. So what does that tell you?
Not a lot.
Inverted 41mm shower cartridge. I think you're looking at the wrong year. I mean, that's like 115 totally topped out, and it's saying 130.
I know, that's why I was trying to look at, that's 2006. Yeah?
That's also .za on the end, so that is, it could be a foreign market one. Got it?
Is that deep enough?
Is that a 32?
Yeah.
Get on! Why didn't you use that one before this?
That's one of Jack's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's an impact one, isn't it? So,
Is there? No, that's that ring. Right. So Jamie's been doing some googling.
Of.
Found a part number on the casting.
Oh. Okay.
And if you can find out what that casting went to, you stand a chance of finding out what the fault is off.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of what he's looking at says 600.
I hope not.
2004, 2005 GXIT 600.
I was being fucking robbed.
To be fair, we did say we wasn't going to laugh much. We did. Right. Do me a favour and Google what the front travel suspension is.
For 2004.
2004.
GXIT 600. That's why 130mm sounded like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you measure it, fully topped out is only 115.
2004.
2004 GSXR 600.
Motherfucking.
That's the same casting. You know, they might use that casting on the 750.
They could do. It's only the bottom
So-
bit. It's the only part number that we've got.
It's only the bit that holds the.
Ah, the joys of buying bike bits on eBay, eh? Whilst you're Googling that, so we're going with a stock oil cooler and I'll just have to make yet another oil cooler surround for it, but I can do that all off the bike, that's not a problem. I mean, I can really, without all this stuff in the way, this is going to make things easier anyway.
I found it.
Have you?
I think so, yeah.
Get on.
2004 GXIT 600.
Yeah,
It's one of those motorcycle specs things.
yeah.
Front suspension.
It's just the travel on that, not the ride height or anything.
Front wheel travel says 125mm.
Can't be.
GXIT 600. Front wheel travel. That's what it says.
So unless something has been done to the internals of these forks already,
That's fully out, is it?
have these been shortened?
Not by me.
Actually, look at that. So that probably can come out a tiny bit more, can't it? That's almost bang on 120.
Yeah.
Or is it to the bottom of
It
no,
could be, yeah.
it could be
Instead
to
of
the
the
bottom of
dust
that.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got 600 forks in these.
Arse.
And when these go to Simon and he pulls them all apart and everything else, we need to make sure they haven't been shortened or anything. We need to know what it is that we're dealing with.
600 might have shorter.
It could say.
750.
Mm.
It could very well do. But regardless, if we're going with a stock oil cooler, it's going to click because it's so much thinner.
I wish I hadn't fucking got up this morning.
Why? I've been going through this for weeks, mate. Right. I reckon. Well, I mean, we've proved all the stuff that we needed to prove. We know that that's a problem, but I can reuse all the mounts. That's fine, and it'll be easier to do without it on the bike. And I know if I'm reducing it, we're going to have to travel back. That's going to be fine. It is going to be fine. It's going to be a damn sight skinnier than that.
So we can potentially carry on using the forks.
I want to see what the clearance is in that.
Well, at least we know. What was the shopping list for the car?
To the very front of the oil cooler, on mine is 35. On this, to the front of the oil cooler from the frame is 65.
Well, you made it too big then, didn't you?
You got the.
I'm joking, mate. It's the depth of the oil cooler that's the problem.
Yeah. But that's because you wanted to go with a bigger one. But now, if you think about it, if you're going for a stock one, less is more.
don't fucking start.
Oh, I knew today was going to be a day like this. Oh yeah, we've got another little gem.
But
Right, so this is Jamie. And, everybody, Jamie, Jamie, everybody.
Why is I beginning to
he's-
feel like the chubby idiot?
Oh yeah, this is the governor's. He's going to post on this one.
Sure.
But anyway, we've never had these cars apart. They've just been sat on the bike. And Jamie's here and been shooting the breeze and stuff. And one of the questions was, how are we going to set these up and blah, 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 blah. So he pulled one of the tops off. What you found, matey?
there's a couple of things missing. There's no top hats on these needles, which means
Just slide up and
Needle.
down.
That works really well.
so it might idle all right.
Where did you get these from? So was it eBay again?
No, these are the ones that are off the bike that I bought. The one that we never used.
Oh, what, the horrible GS
Yeah.
wannabe
Yeah.
thing? So what happened to the carbs that came off GIXIT? Because you was riding it.
They're back at my house.
Why can't we just use them?
Well, potentially we can.
What are they? Are they the same size? They must have-
38s.
Which is what it would have had as stock, not 40s.
Yeah.
So why don't we just use them?
Well, we can use them. They went on it because that was the only ones I could find. Because I need to get new rubbers for the 38s, and I've never managed to find any.
I might have some at home. Might have a lot of stuff at home that we're going to need. Right. We're pretty sure these are Dynajet needles. Yeah. Pretty certain.
Should be a fucking knitting needle, mate.
Just because of that incredibly fat taper.
Yeah.
And it looks like whoever was using them before had them as rich as possible. So
Did you ever see this bike that you bought? Yeah, it had holes in the frames and all sorts.
I think I saw it, yeah.
This is the one that we bought, and we knew we bought a pup when Simon went to put the side stand down and it fell off and left a hole in the frame that you could put your thumb in.
Yeah.
It was a quality piece of kit, mate.
So we
Right.
need some top hats for those.
Well,
Or we just need...
I think we just need some boots for the other carbs. Because they're 38s, that's what it should run.
It would be better to set it up with the stock carbs.
Yeah.
Because then you've got a baseline to tune from there.
Yeah. And there's an
Get the
awful
engine
lot of
running,
info about jetting and blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 that we can just have and use. And that's a good start off for 10. We're going to need to tweak it because, you know, we're running pod filters on it. We've got a different exhaust system on it. There's going to be some monkeying about needed, isn't there?
Mm.
But if we at least start stock, and physically, the size of them, I mean, there's bugger all difference. I mean, they're going to fit. It's just the boots. We just need different boots.
It's just been about getting parts, hasn't it, as well? So...
Well, I was going to say go back on eBay, but that's where half this crap came from.
The breakers and everything.
Yeah, there's a few breakers. We tried breakers.
Try Dave down at Cat Down.
Yeah.
He may well have something.
I think you might need to do some phoning
He's
about.
got a lot of engines in a shed. A lot with carb rubbers on as well. Maybe worth giving him a shout.
It's got to be worth a go, mate.
Probably quite a few Suzuki's with 38mm rubbers on.
It's got to be worth a go.
Oh, there's also no O-rings on there.
No, I think the later Bandits had 38s on as well. Set in the 1200.
Thing is, there's just loads of bits missing off of it. Loads of bits missing
There's
off.
some weird sizes on the main and pilot jets as well.
Well, there was weird everything
A really
on that
small main
bike.
jet and a really big pilot jet,
Yeah.
which don't look standard either. I think the pilot was on that is 37.5, which I'm not sure that's right.
But again, whatever was running on the wave, and then it doesn't make sense to have those size jets either, does it? If it's like massively big, then it ain't gonna run. Or well, no, it probably would do on tick over, but once you open it,
Problem is, we've now got a modified exhaust.
yeah,
The best thing to do is stick the stock
Yeah.
carbs on and see what that exhaust does, because if that exhaust leans it right off, then we can mess about with the stock carbs.
thing is, it doesn't matter what exhaust or air filters you put on it. if you've got the stock carbs to go with that engine, it will run. It may not run great, and it may not be optimal or anything else, but it will run, and you can go from there, can't you? And we can do a lot of colour tune to get the air fuel mixture in the ballpark at idle and everything.
Like
You're
you say,
never
it's
going to
still
know
have to go on a dyno.
You're never going to know it's right until you stick it on a dyno. So let's just go stock carbs, get some different boots, we can go from there. And there's no impact on changing the carbs at this stage as far as fabricating stuff on the bike goes. It'll all just bolt on. It's only the oil cooler and the surround for it, which again can be done off the bike with all the rest of it in pieces, and to be honest, I can't prefer to do it that way anyway. It's going to be half the thickness of that, so we get loads of clearance back. Job's a good one. I vote we pull it all apart.
Let's crack on that.
Because that's the fun bit.
It is, isn't it? I'm willing to bet it comes apart a damn sight quicker than it went together. Right, so Jamie by trade is an electrical engineer, industrial electrical engineer or something.
Controls engineer.
Controls engineer. And he's bought me some goodies. Basically, he spent ages pulling old kit out and replacing it with new and blah, 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 blah. And he's just got loads of the other old bits and pieces left. And he's bought all this lot down. You're going to love this. The Boxford lathe and the milling machine was all originally 3-phase. But the mill was converted to run on single phase on 240 volt, and we was chatting the other day, and he's bought loads of goodies with him, and we might be making it 3-phase again. The idea is stick a 3-phase motor in, and some of these other doohickeys run an inverter, so I can get it back to 3-phase. Because the trouble I've got at the minute is if I try and run it on like the highest gearing, the highest speeds or the lowest speeds, the 240 volt motor just doesn't have the torque. It really does struggle. Whereas a 3-phase setup is, that's the way it's designed, it's meant to do, and it does it very well. So what is all that I don't get it? You're gonna have to explain it.
So
What's that?
That's a PLC.
That's a PLC.
So that's the brains. That's the computer.
Right, okay. So this is all programmable. There's packed with goodies in there, look.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So we're going to write a little program that sits in there.
Right.
That is also going to communicate with this little touchscreen. And we're going to use this little touchscreen to select different speeds and recipes.
So I can just touch this and
So
it'll
you can
it'll
just touch
change.
that and it will change. A proper start and stop button on it. And
Sweet.
an emergency stop.
Yeah. Because I've just got that little. It's literally a box
We'll
with a go and a stop button on it.
Contactor just for the safety side of it.
Yeah.
And then the breaker, 3-phase breaker.
So the little mill is getting a major upgrade, which is going to be sweet. And apparently the same sort of philosophy will work on the mill too. So I'm just going to get it up and working on 240 volts to start off with. But at some point I could stick a 3-phase motor in, run an inverter on that. I don't know what it's going to be like on 240 volts, so that's the thing. So yeah, it might be fine. If it is fine, I'll just leave it because I've already got the motor. But if not, I can put it back to 3-phase without having 3-phase plumbed into the shed, because that was stupid money.
You can.
That was properly crazy money. But how good is this? Apparently when I turn all this on, I can have my logo come up on this as well. That's happening. Thank you, mate. That is mega. Right, so it did come apart a lot quicker than what it went together.
Remarkably. I don't think we could go back as quickly as that.
Yeah, probably not. It's been quite a cool day out. So it's nice of Jamie to drop down. It's good to see him because it gave Steve-O a chance to pick his brains and whatnot. And he's got some cool toys for the lathe, which I'm seriously looking forward to getting that done. Getting that on 3-phase, that'll be quite cool. Without 3-phase.
He definitely knows his stuff.
He does, doesn't he? The carbs, we never pulled them apart. It was just a working set of carbs, as far as you knew.
Well, it was a set of carbs, wasn't it?
They're rubbish. So, Steve-O has got a set of 38 mils.
We should have
which was off this originally, so, and you had it running on them. So, and that's what should be on the engine as stock. So the intention is they're going back on, just, you know, because it's stock, isn't it? You know it's going to, basically, it might not run brilliant because the jetting might not be right with this exhaust and pod filters and everything, but it will run.
But at least we've got a base set.
And then we can sort of go from there. Bike's all been torn down. He's got loads of bits in the boot. So he's got the forks and the rear shock, which he's going to make Simon rolls to work his magic.
Got many other items in the boot as well.
All these crap is gone that I don't want. Because I ain't got real. There's going to be like Piccadilly Circus in here.
No, I know.
But the intention is, Steve-O's got to chip off because he's got to go and get his girls. So everything is off the bike apart from the engine is still in it. So I'm going to get that done. Oh yeah,
there's some parts on the thing over there that I was looking for boxes, but we haven't got boxes anymore.
What are you on about?
The switchgear and stuff like that. Rather than getting it all scuffed up and knackered up.
Well, I've got rags and stuff. We can wrap it up with rags and that and put it in, you know, keep it nice because we really don't want to scratch them. So basically, I'll get the engine out during the week. And that just leaves me the frame that I can kind of monkey about with and start welding up and all that sort of stuff and get it ready for powder coat. Are you going to sort out another oil cooler?
Looks like it, yeah.
And I've got to make yet another bloody oil cooler surround.
I think the oil coolers cost us more time than anything else on this bloody bike.
I hate oil coolers around. I really do.
I'm not very keen on oil coolers next time.
Yeah.
Next time I should go for a water cooled engine.
What do you mean next time? This is it. I ain't going through this again, not for you. But that's it. So basically the bike is in bits and getting ready. So the intention is that we just want to do some at once and not have to redo it. So, you know, like when we decided what's going on the bike next, that bit will get cleaned up, serviced, painted, you know, whatever else it is, and then it will go back onto the frame, which will all be sat there ready and waiting to accept it. And we're just going to go through one piece at a time, build it, service it, make it look nice, everything else, and stick it on the bike, and then we ain't got to worry about it anymore.
No.
That's it. And gradually we'll just build it back up again until it's rideable, and you can take it home.
Yay!
And so, yeah, that's a good plan. I like that plan. Right, so that's where we'll leave it. I need to get this done over the next couple of days anyway. I need it up on the bench and out the way because all this has to go so I can get me milling. And I've got to move the lathe over as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. But anyway, that's it. An eventful day. Thank you ever so much for joining us and for watching. Chuck your comments in as well. I know people are going to take the mick out of that bloody oil cooler, but there you go. That's what's going to happen.
Well, that's what we're doing. We'll go back to stock.
Well, why not? Why not? It'll work. And it's half the thickness. So, jobs are good. But anyway, thank you ever so much for tuning in. And we will see you again next time.
Later.
Cheers.